If you have love in your hearts here in the Nevada World Music Festival, let me see the hands in the air. If you have love in your hearts, and I don't mean just the people that are watching the show, because I know you can hear me right at the back and in the stands where you're sitting down. If you have love in your hearts, let me see the hands in the air. Come in, my slide.
You won! You definitely!
Dedicated to each and everyone who believes in love. My love will always be true, just like the break of dawn, forever brand new. It's true that the rain falls from the sky. My love is a river that will never run dry. I've got love that will grow and grow. I've got love, won't the world to you know. I've got love that will grow and grow. I've got love in this life. This ongoing storm, I'll be your shelter, keep you safe, keep you warm. You know you can count on me. I've so much love inside me, ready to be free. I've got love that will grow and grow. I've got love on the world to you know. I've got love that will grow and grow. I've got love for the world tonight. Bring it back, let me see the hands in the air. If you have love, only love, only love, only love. My love will always be true, just like the break of dawn, forever brand new. It's true that the rain falls from the sky. My love is a river that will never run dry. I've got love that will grow and grow. I've got love on the world to you know. I've got love that will grow and grow. I've got love, only love, 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 only love, love, only love, 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 only love, 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 only love. Only love, love, love. Only love, love. Only love, love, love. Only love, love. Love, love, love. Only love, love, love. Only love, love. Only love. Only love. Only love. Only love.
Folks, this is Reality Time on the Champion Sound BigUpRadio.com. It's your man DJ Kurious. I'm here at the Sierra Nevada World Music Festival with none other than Biddy McLean. Biddy, give thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you. I must say, I'm not actually Bitty. I'm Bitty's twin brother. Bitty couldn't make it, so we sound just the same anyway. No, enough respect. Pleasure being here. My first foot in the door in the States.
Nice.
It only took 21 years to get here, but
yeah, man.
Better late than never.
Yeah, man. You know? So this is is your first time in California or second time in California now?
San Diego in February, the tribute to the legends. So this is second show in the States, in that sense. Yeah, second show.
Well, give thanks for coming out here to California. We really enjoyed the show. Just came off stage. Was great set. Talk to us about the vibes out there tonight.
The vibes was wicked. I didn't know what to expect because obviously first time in the States, but I do know people kind of know the music over the 20 years or so, or even 10 years since the album on Bond Street.
Yes.
So people kind of know the music, but have never seen me live. And who better to share the stage with than Sly and Robbie and the Taxi Gang? So I give thanks that it happened at the right time and with the right musicians to at least present what I do.
Yes.
You know.
Have you done a lot of work with Sly and Robbie recently? You've also done some stuff with Pecking's label. Talk to us a little bit about Pecking's, because I know out here in the U.S. a lot of people don't know about Pecking's. So talk a little bit about that.
Pecking's is a record shop that was started by their father back in the 60s. Well, even before they had a shop, their father was selling Studio One records from their home in West London. And they've got a shop which sells vintage vinyl, Studio One, everything vintage, but mainly Studio One. And it's a shop that I used to go to back in the 90s. And I had an idea, a concept of doing an album on vintage rhythm tracks. And I approached Trojan Records, and they were like, no, they're not interested. And I was having a conversation with Peckins, and they said, oh, Treasure Isle, yeah, we can have permission to utilise Treasure Isle rhythm tracks. And so from there, I went home, and my collection of Treasure Isle is kind of vast, and my father's collection, owning a sound system. And I went through my collection and started sampling and looping and putting rhythms together and started writing and voicing. And I'd present the songs to Peckins, have a listen to that. You know, I don't think you're ready for this one, but have a listen anyway. And we decided to hook up, and we started the label financially, joint finance thing, and the rest is history. You know, On Bond Street was released 10 years ago, literally.
Wow.
2004.
Nice.
And it kind of relaunched my voice to people who had probably heard of Bitty McLean, but I'd been kind of off the scene for some years. I went back to engineering and producing and stuff. So it kind of relaunched Bitty McLean back into the marketplace, kind of in a big way, because it was a sound which was totally different to everything that was out there at the time. Walk Away didn't sound like anything, and I think that was kind of the key to the success. You know, obviously the rhythm and the music of Treasure Isle and Tommy McCook is the key as well.
Yes, absolutely.
But the fact that it was an old but new sound really worked, and it captured the audience imagination, you know, across the world. You know, and it was a successful project. But after Bond Street, I didn't really want to do a project which was exactly the same. Which kind of created a bit of vibes with me and Peckins, but I just felt it was the right time to move to another chapter, not just do On Bond Street again. I think that would have been a bit of a silly move to put out another album just like Bond Street. I think it would have counteracted On Bond Street. It would have been like competing with On Bond Street, and I think On Bond Street kind of stands up. Even after 10 years, it still holds its own, you know, in that sense. So I moved on and started working with Sly and Robbie, who I'd worked with back in 1996. We recorded an album in Jamaica, which was never released. Major record company, headaches. But always kept the link with Sly and Robbie, and it was a conversation about Bond Street which led to me and Sly and Robbie hooking up. You know, a friend of theirs was talking, saying, do you know Bitty McLean? He's got a wicked album called On Bond Street. And Sly and Robbie were like, yeah man, we know Bitty, we've known him for years. They're like, well, why don't you guys get together and do something? And that was 2006. Went to Jamaica, laid some rhythms, and also had access to some of their older catalogue rhythms like Hold On To What You Got by Dennis Brown, Oh What A Feeling, Gregory, there's some others, Junior Delgado, Merry Go Round, and started voicing some old rhythms as well as some brand new rhythms as well. And it was a step forward because it was from rocksteady into the rubber dubby era, which is the era where I started singing, you know, when I was like 10 and 12. Those kind of rhythms, taxi rhythm and those things. Like I said tonight, those are the rhythms that if you couldn't sing on a rhythm like that, you couldn't clash.
You couldn't. No, absolutely not.
A singer or a DJ, when the selector drops a rhythm, you had to be fast and think of a melody and a hook and sing. Touch wood. I never made a mistake from my young days. That was like the testing ground as a young singer. You know, I couldn't really write or stuff, but could hold a vibe and kind of rock the crowd at that age. And through the years developed, you know, and I'm still here. Just about.
Amazing. So you're out here on tour, on a US tour right now. Where are you headed next?
Oh, don't. My brain is all over the place. I know we're doing Denver, we're doing San Diego, New York, BB King's, and there's one other show that I keep forgetting, probably because I haven't really been around the States. You know, I've been to New York a couple of times, but I've never really travelled around the States, so there's a couple of places I can't remember. And we end up in Canada this time next weekend. We finish in Ottawa in Canada, and then back home to London.
Wow,
So
amazing,
6-7 shows
amazing.
back home.
So I mentioned earlier you've done a lot of work with Sly and Robbie. Are you doing new stuff with them now? Tell us a little bit about new music that you're working on now.
It's kind of in the middle. Me and Sly love looping and sampling old rhythms, whereas Robbie loves fresh rhythms.
Yeah.
So, and I love that kind of blend. You know, we can sample and utilize old rhythms, me and Sly, but then you go in the studio with Robbie, and Robbie's just brand new, fresh rhythm, new bass lines, everything. So it's a mix of both in that sense, you know. And so we've actually got an album in the can now, which we'll be doing some more production on later in the year. There's no release date. The Taxi Sessions is still out and still doing what it's got to do, surfacing, and people are discovering that as well. So
absolutely,
I think there's enough music over the 21 years for me to be touring with Sly and Robbie and presenting what's kind of the past and what's current.
Absolutely,
you know, in that sense. So I keep saying it's the best chapter in my career to be amongst Sly and Robbie. You know.
Once again, folks, it's your man DJ Kurious. I'm here with Biddy McLean Foundation. I mean,
I sound old. No, not Foundation.
A foundation sound, a young man on a foundation rhythm. Absolutely beautiful. We're at the Sierra Nevada World Music Festival. Biddy, if there's a last word you want to give to the folks out there, please.
Just to say thank you. Like I say all the time, it's not just about supporting Bitty McLean or Sly and Robbie, it's about supporting the music as a whole. So I say enough love, enough respect to everyone who supports reggae music. That go out and buy the music or download it and pay for it.
Yes.
And come out and support the shows as well. We should say thank you. Enough respect to everyone who supports it, you know, support DJs like yourself and press and stuff like that always have something positive to say about the music, because you know, as we all know, there's some negative things within it, but we need to focus more on the positive side of things. So enough respect to each and every one.
Enough respect to you, Biddy. Give thanks for taking the time to talk to us here tonight.
Okay.
Give thanks.
Right now, I'm gonna take you back to 1968, where the music was changing from rocksteady to reggae music. We know this rhythm as the Moonlight Lover, but I wrote a song entitled To Fall in Love, To Fall in Love. Who said we too young to fall in love. I know that the rain did fall. Yeah, angels held us through the storms to guide us and keep us strong and show them that we are not too young to fall in love.